All right, hi guys, my name is Caitlin, and in today's video, we're just going to talk about just a few ways of which the universe or your spirit guides can communicate with you. I feel like they've been communicating with me heavily. I mean, they always are, but I just feel like this summer was pretty significant for me, just like the summer of 2019 was. And so, just of course, this is just inspired by my own journey and then some ways that I feel like are personal to me. And so the first would be, hearing or seeing your name. And this is like obviously this happened this past summer, but what really sticks out to me about this happening over the summer is just I've been seeing my name a lot, but it's been spelled exactly the same. And I have this memory of where when I was younger, I used to have this newspaper cut out of like 12 different ways to spell Caitlin, and I just feel like these days, there's so many different ways to spell a name, but typically like when I'm talking to somebody or when I see Caitlin, it's not spelled the same. It's with a K, it's with a Y, or it's with an E. But in particular this summer, everywhere that I was seeing it, it was spelled exactly the same way. I took my son to the emergency room. The doctor or the nurse, her name was spelled the exact same way. There was like a fast food attendant, her name was spelled the exact same way. And just, it's things like that that really stop you and make you question like, okay, what's happening here. But just in general, I know that my guides have been just trying to communicate with me, and I don't feel like that I've been ignoring them. I just feel like it's a season of change for me, and season of change, season of transformation. And yeah, that's just is significant for me this past summer. And some people will probably just be like, well, that's just a coincidence, it doesn't mean anything. But when you're really in tune and you just know about things, when you're just more so aware, you just know. And so yeah, I just know that they've been trying, or they were trying to get my attention, or just just letting me know that they're there or whatever. So, and then also I did say hearing your name. I remember back when I was first I guess I'm pretty sure I had a Kundalini awakening, and so back in 2019, and then around that time, like I guess after, I feel like that was like kind of like the height of my awakening, or the height of my shift in consciousness, I like to say. I remember just that I remember hearing my name, and it's like, it's like you hear it, but obviously nobody called it. And like, that's just another sign, just like, the higher realms are communicating with you. And then also a sign that you're clairaudient, and clairaudience is I feel like clairaudience is my strongest gift. I mean, at least I like to think so. It might also be clairsentience and, what is it? Claircognizance and clairsentience also, but definitely I feel like clairaudience is my strongest one. Like, that's the one that I feel like I'm just very, very aware of. So yeah. Okay, the next will be angel numbers. So like 111, 222, 1111, things like that, of course. And I'm not really sure. I don't really have much to say as far as angel numbers go. I feel like typically they're just meant to guide you. Just there to get your attention. But I also just, at this point in my journey, I'm very big on, try not to give too much meaning to them, because sometimes it's like when you're seeing them, you're always trying to figure out what they mean. But really, I feel like there's just a need to just be balanced. And it's like, if you don't know what they mean, just accept that, or just know that, as you have peace about it, the meaning behind the message will definitely make sense. And then it's like, of course, there are standard meanings, but then you can also develop your own meanings. And recently, more so, I've been seeing that it's like the more you're seeing a number that kind of represents that can kind of represent a message that you're not getting. So I don't know, you just got to be aware. But either way, angel numbers can definitely be a sign that the universe or your guides are communicating with you. And that perfectly leads me right into repetitive messages. So it's like, if you're hearing like the same things over and over again, people are telling you the same thing over and over again, or somebody tells you something, you see the same message on Instagram, you're hearing a song that's giving you the same message, that's definitely a sign that the universe is communicating with you. For me, there's been several situations for me, or several examples for me of where that's true. Just how do I explain it? I remember basically before I had the awareness that I was supposed to pursue entrepreneurship, I just kept hearing it. I would keep having thoughts about it, and it just kept happening until it finally clicked. And then eventually, I did transition into an entrepreneur. There's another message more so recently about just transitioning career-wise. I'll just leave it there. That's been a repetitive message. And then also But by the time I post this video, I will have posted another video about a recurring dream that I had. And so recurring dreams can also be a way that they communicate with you. And I feel like a lot of times we're receiving these repetitive messages so that we get them until the point that we understand what they mean. So then when we understand what they mean, I feel like the message typically dissipates unless you keep, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Then it's like it'll continue to still be there until you like shift your habits or just shift the way that you're doing things, and then I feel like the message will go away. But okay, and then synchronicity, that can be another. I feel like angel numbers, repetitive messages, synchronicities, I feel like they all kind of go hand in hand. And what's funny is there's a synchronicity that happened for me a few weeks ago. I felt called to go back and look at my older videos that basically, I had filmed some videos when I first wanted to start my YouTube channel, but it's like, I don't know if I ever posted it. I posted some of them, but not all of them. But I was called to go back and watch them. And I ended up watching one of my videos where I was talking about like what I call my dark year of the soul. Yeah, dark year of the soul. And I was on my way to get my contacts, and I was at the part where I was talking about my car breaking down and being not really upset, but just being, mentally drained. And I was pulling up to this intersection, and then right as I'm listening to this part, the same type of car that I was talking about pulls up in one of the other intersection lanes. I just thought that was so crazy. And I'm just like, again, some people would just be like, that doesn't mean anything, it's just a coincidence, but it's really not. I just feel like really over the summer, I've been seeing how the universe is just kind of reflecting back to me, like that it's, I don't know, I guess I've been seeing how the universe has been speaking to me and just mirroring back to me like the things that I've been doing. And so it just lets me know that the things that I have been doing have been working, but then also again that it hears me, it sees me, that kind of thing. And so that's one of the synchronicities that I've been experiencing this summer, that I experienced this summer. But then I guess another synchronicity would be the repetitive messages about needing to transition a little bit when it comes to my career. So I feel like at some point I'll talk more about that. But yeah, and then the main way that I feel like the universe communicates with me, and that I really wanted to talk about, I guess is really important to me, is the universe typically communicates with you through the things that you like to do. So one of the biggest ways the universe has communicated with me this far on my journey is through YouTube. I guess I like learning. I like seeing the different ways in which people live their lives. And there have just been several situations in which, a video will kind of keep, showing up on my feed. I really won't click on it initially, but the fact that I just keep seeing it somewhere on my page, it eventually leads me to click on it. And then typically, maybe not right then when I watch the video, but typically like, later on down the line or after a series of videos, over time, I'll get the message like, oh, like this was a sign, this was guiding me, or this was trying to tell me like, go here. And it's so funny because I feel like the first time this really happened to me, it was for a certain business idea, which I'm always going to mention. It was for a certain business idea that I transitioned away from. But it's like, for me to have my awakening over this idea, there's just like something within me that still wants to bring this idea to life at some point. And so, hopefully you guys will get to see me do that. But yeah, it was very significant for me. And that video is what led towards my awakening. And it happened again this summer with a series of videos about needing to transition again. There was a series of videos talking about a specific topic, talking about a specific thing to do. And at first I really wasn't getting it, even though I've been receiving this particular message, months on end. Like one of my friends, we do tarot readings for each other. She'd been mentioning it to me for a while, but I don't want to say that I wasn't getting it. It's just sometimes I do feel like you do receive messages, but they can be from, in a sense, from the future. And so it's like I was taking the message. I understand what I was being told to do, but I guess I really didn't feel like it was the time. But with the fact that they kind of kept repeating it to me, it just let me know that it is the time, number one. But then also, it kind of reminded me that what I was being told to do, I was already planning on doing this basically when all my kids got in school last year, but I became preoccupied with other things, so I completely forgot about it. And so yeah, the repetitive messages helped remind me number one. But But yeah, the universe can communicate with you through the things that you like to do. There's another example too about a particular product. I kept seeing it, of course, everywhere. Didn't really care much about it. I mean, I'd already planned on doing it, excuse me, but then when I finally watched it, it's like the video, I don't see the video anymore. I did save it to my favorites, but yeah, that's a big way the universe communicates with me, is through YouTube. And typically it's like whatever's coming up is just like, I guess somewhere my future self somewhere is doing it. And so yeah, and I really kind of want to talk about that first video though. When it comes to that first video, I just remember I kept seeing it. It wasn't like in my direct line of vision, but I was aware, I guess on some level, that I kept seeing it. And then finally I clicked on it one day, and the fact that I really resonated with this woman, and then just where she was in life, I guess where she, you know, physically seemed to be at that point in her life, I really resonated with her, and that just allowed me to, you know, follow her journey, binge her content, and then through watching her, it kind of gave me the confidence to explore doing that myself, to which I eventually did. And again, that led towards, you know, another video, which I feel like really just kind of switched on my awakening and initiated my Kundalini experience. But yeah, I feel like there was something else, but I feel like that's pretty much it. So those are just a few of the ways the universe can communicate with you. Also, through the things you like to do, I just wanted to say, I wanted to reiterate that to some of you guys. So it's like, you know, that's why it's important to make time for the things that you like to do, whether it's singing, whether it's writing. You know, I like sewing. I like sewing because it just allows me to like zone out. And it's like when you're doing the thing that you love to do, it's like it kind of allows you for a moment to be in that highest expression of yourself, and again, zone out and be at peace. But it's like when you're in that peace, in that space, you can receive, you know, guidance, insights that might give you the next steps if you're feeling lost when it comes to your path. And then typically I feel like when it comes to the things that we like to do, I feel like usually one of them is going to lead you towards, you know, fulfillment. I don't feel like we're supposed to monetize everything that we love to do. Like, so it does make sense to not pursue everything as like for a business. But I do feel like a lot of us have, you know, talent, skills, interests that we could turn into a business, which could then, you know, create or just go towards us being able to have a freedom lifestyle, because I do feel like it's possible for everybody. But as usual, I feel like I'm getting all over the place. So yeah, those are just a few of the ways that the universe can communicate with you. Of course, you know, share with me down below if you've experienced any of these, or if you have your own ways in which you know that the universe likes to communicate with you, and I'll be happy to read those. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and then I will see you guys in the next one.